Good morning. My name is Derek Kennedy and I am your student's English teacher at Miles Macdonell Collegiate. Today what I'd like to do is help you to help your student and support your student to do the best that they possibly can in English class as marks are approaching, and I'm sure parents want to see the best possible grade on their child's report card as possible. So there's a bit of a definition that needs to be done first before we begin, and that is that I use the term marks and grades. So a mark is what a student will get on any of their assignments. So on Teams, which you can see behind me, is a tab called Assignments. Let's see if you can see that here, Assignments. And I will mark them as we determine together as a class what constitutes, how well that they did. The second term that I use is grades, and grades refer to the number that goes on a student's report card that is reflective of their learning. So you may have a student that has low marks on some assignments, but then maybe an improvement as they move along, or an observation as they move along by me, that will be a different number if you calculate the marks as a percentage compared to the percentage that they get on the report card. So because we are in the last 10 days before all of our, the term comes to an end, and then we have to calculate the student's ability in the class, this is something that you can do to help your student get the best grade on their report card. So regarding Teams, there are, first of all, these assignments. There's an assignment tab. You can go and take a look and see what their marks have been so far, and that will allow you to see maybe where your student can improve. If they're at a 3, that means that they're at grade level of, they're approaching the expectations of the class. If they're at a 4, they're meeting the expectations of the class. And if they're at a 5, then they are exceeding the expectations of the class. They've done something different than everybody else in the class. They've gone above and beyond to get that 5. So those are very coveted marks, and they are not given out very easily. The second thing that you can do to support your student at home is ensuring that they are following the regular plan that I have for the class, and that is that every student should be reading at home every night and discussing what they're reading with their families, anybody that's willing to listen, once a week, because of course it takes a while to develop, any progress in a book if they're reading. And then the second thing that they should be doing is writing in their journals. I write 250 words a day. That's the standard. So in their journals, they should have entries upwards of 250 words a day. So that's important that they match that. If they match that, they get a 4. If they go above and beyond, they get a 5. So those are important things to understand with respect to how that they can score higher in this class. But last and not least, because I give a lot of time for students to do those regular things during class, as well as time to work on assignments, there's this regular thread on Teams that has homework and assignments that come up. This needs to be looked at daily. If the students are not looking at this daily, then they're going to lose marks because they will not be aware of the things that they need to hand in, or things that I've asked them to review for an opportunity for them to exercise their understanding and their learning of what we're doing in class. So to give you a reminder here, it says, okay, so you can't see this very easily, but this is homework, okay? And it says, find 3 good examples of a story you will use for inspiration for your short story. Write them in your notes. I will check. 3 stories, or 3 short stories that they're using as examples to help inspire them to do their own writing. Now, full disclosure here, the number of students that actually wrote down, which is what I specifically said, 3 stories, was less than half the class. So that should be a little bit of an eye-opener as to sort of the understanding that the students have as to the importance of the work that I actually give them to do. It seems very, very simple to write 3 things down. I just thought it in my head and I don't have to do it because it's up there. But there's the actual following through with the instructions that there's a disconnect between the students' understanding and their actual performance. So making sure that they follow the instructions as it's written, and that's something that they will need support on at home because of the fact that we're seeing that lots of students are missing out on this. And so I'm sending this video because I support the students in the class as much as I possibly can to help them to understand where the expectations are that they're not meeting are, and find ways to help them to demonstrate those by, walking over to them and watching them write them down, or moving them from a distracting area in the classroom to a non-distracting area in the classroom, having them have to sit right beside me during reading time if they can't read without distracting others or being distracted. So I'm asking that parents at home, and I know many of you do, so if this goes out and you think that I'm saying it because you aren't doing it, please understand, I know that there's many parents that do that, but that at home we can support our students by having them show us their teams on a daily basis. And so there's this last little point here, it's called I think you should see this. So I'm just gonna click over to that real quick. This is where students will demonstrate their understanding of, not their understanding, but they'll exercise what it is that they're learning in class. And so I post videos, they're not very long, and I write down a little blurb for them to read, which connects to the video, and there's a question in there, and I ask them to, it says under the see more part, but I say, write your answer in the reply. And so we have some students who have written the replies down and that are connected, so they're demonstrating their understanding, which is great. But many students will just, I ask them all to thumbs up the video. Now you can see that there's only 3 people that thumbs this up, and this has been up since the 17th of October. I ask all students to thumbs up the video as well as to write a comment. Now, 3 people have thumbs it up, 1 person has commented. And I check this, and this is part of their mark. So if they want to get the best grade possible, I need to see these types of things done on a regular basis, which I'm not. So the more we can support our kids at home to know that they have homework pretty much every night, the better that they will do overall in English class. Thank you very much for your time. I know this was a long spiel, but by communicating this to each other, we'll have the best performance in our kids. Have a great day. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing as many of you as I possibly can at parent-teacher conferences. Have a great day. Bye-bye.